Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the afternoon. Hey, Kevin. Abby is on my lap right now. I think she really wanted some attention, so I played with her over lunchtime. But it took a little bit longer than I normally do, I think. What a good cat. Hey, Skeleseller. All right, so yeah, we don't have any outstanding codes, so we can just start this stuff. So in beating a boss, allow for new adventure choices. We did that already. Unlock the next instance. All right, so there's cat's coming onto the desk. Hi, cat. Do you want to? If she just sat down on the desk, everything would be great. But she wants attention, and it's not enough just to have passive attention. She wants to be petted during that time. Come on, cat. Come on, girl. Okay. Well, she's gonna get in the way of productivity again. Do you want to sit down? Good girl. Okay. So watching Kit, they set up an email with an AI to email scammers, and the results have me crying. I hope he does a YouTube video on that because I don't tend to catch the live stream a whole lot, but I do watch his YouTube videos. Then again, sometimes he's been working on videos for like a month or two and they only show up afterwards, so maybe I'll see it in a couple months. All right, sit down, cat. Sit down. All right, unlock the next instance. We wrote something about this. Elite enemies. Yeah, here it is. Current instance is elite. We don't know whether you've beaten it or not. So, and we're going to need to know which bosses you've beaten anyway. So I think we should just store those. She's purring. She's so cute. I just love this cat. My wife, whenever she leaves for a bit, she misses the cat. So I've been sending her all these pictures because she's out of town right now. Okay, cat, will you sit down? You hear her purring into the microphone? She's like sniffing against it. Keep track of where we're doing this. So what should be responsible for tracking which bosses you've beaten? And I think we used to store which instances you've beaten. But I don't actually know. So I guess let's just go start looking through save data. Storeroom, adventure. I don't see it here. I see this one though. Does this have it? Unlocked. Ah, okay. So start instance can know about it. Hey, no handles. Oh, I missed your chat message. Sorry. I thought I was just seeing this now, or it just arrived now, but it was from 3 minutes ago. My apologies. Okay. I think start instance is a reasonable place. And I think we even have something in there about this. Did I not make a to-do item? Yeah, here it is. Unlock the next instance if this was an elite one. Okay, cool. Well, I am starting to figure out how we're doing this. Why do we even need unlocked instance IDs? Get latest. I see. Okay, so this is what's being used now. So we need to, I guess we don't need to track how many times you kill the boss for this particular feature, but we probably are going to eventually do it. We would need to know also what the level of the boss was, or something would need to store this somewhere. All right, so how do we do this? Instance data. I want this to mean its own function. Yeah. Testeroni. All right, we'll call this ended battle. And we'll just put this here. I'm Stilling, got annoyed with pre-rolls and have YouTube Premium, but chat's lonely. Okay. Well, hey, Stilling. Unfortunately, I am very unlikely to remember that. So hopefully I build up all of my stilling memory for No Handles Remain on YouTube. I used to keep track of all this, and then I'm like, is there a reason? If someone's sort of reputation resets in my head, then I'll just build it up again. All right, this should go down at the bottom. So yeah, we can get instance data for this particular instance. And then we can find out if it's elite. All good. All right, yeah. Well, and like you just mentioned, chat is pretty lonely on YouTube. I tend to get like fewer than 10 messages on average over the course of an entire day, probably. And if I do get more than that, it's usually from just one person who's chatting. I feel like every once in a while I go into a Twitch stream and there's almost no one there. And I start chatting and the streamer just kind of ignores me, which I always found kind of funny because it's sort of against the advice that you get as a new streamer. But people probably assume the same of me when they're watching on YouTube. Like, oh, this guy's got one viewer and he's not even paying attention to that one viewer. Maybe that's what's happening when I go in other people's streams. They're really on TikTok or something with like 1,000 people watching and they just don't care about me. All right, how do we even unlock the next instance? You buy them. And where do you buy them? There's some dialogue I made. I don't remember. It's wherever that just was. Portal. The portal is where you buy them. Okay. And what happens when you click the button? Unlock instance. Okay, so we just need to call unlock instance. Probably the instance list should know this thing. Or we need a way of getting the next instance ID. This has get latest, which does what? It's from the instance list. Is this also in the instance list? Yes, it is. Okay, well, then this stuff shouldn't be here. This stuff should be in instance list. Makes sense. Sometimes you just need to realize that a function doesn't belong in a particular file. And then you're like, oh, that's what I should have done a while ago. All right, so both of these change to public. Then we need to go get rid of this. And this looks good. Next instance ID, latest instance ID. I might change them into properties, but get next, get latest. This now comes from instance list. Aw, I feel bad. Abby can't just comfortably sit on my lap, so she's got to leave and go somewhere else. But it really is best for me. Okay, so that's looking good. And then in here, we're going to call unlock. Why is this instance list? Oh, it is actually that. Maybe we should just make an unlock next instance. Why are we even passing something in to unlock? Why would you ever unlock something that's not immediately the next? I guess if we don't have linear instances, but for now we definitely do. So instance list dot get next instance ID. Okay. Now there might not be a next instance ID, in which case unlock should probably do something like if instance ID equals none, then just do nothing. And that's it. Now you should be able to go beyond the canyon when you beat it. Let's try it out. Oh, so yeah, I was annoyed with ads on Twitch too. Yesterday, I actually signed up for Amazon Prime on my Amazon account, just the free trial. And then I found out that you can't subscribe to somebody when you sign up for the free trial. So I canceled it. So that was fun. Back when I was watching a lot of Twitch, I used to pay for Twitch Turbo. And I looked into the cost, and I think it's like $12 or $13, which if you were to subscribe to 2 people, and the only reason you were subscribing is for getting rid of ads, then it would make sense to do it. But I don't think I watched that much. All right, so all we need to do is look at start battle. We're gonna win this instance. Why do I have 100? Oh yeah, because of the start of game thing. Okay, so I've unlocked the canyon. Now we can't go any further. That cost should have never shown up here. Oh, that's probably not smart. We should probably remove the cost completely. So when you beat the boss, you can just immediately go to the next area. Lately, I'm on the verge of going with turbo. The only problem is that then Amazon gets all of your money and the streamer gets basically none of it. I mean, they still get ad revenue, but yeah, still, it's changing who gets the money. Wait, Stilling, why are you back on Twitch? Or is it just because you got through the ads? Yeah. All right, so we got to figure out what we're doing about this. I'm just going to write this down for now. What do we do about unlocking the next instance after a boss? Should it happen automatically or should it just cost 0? Because there's no... Let me think about this. Unlock next location. You've already unlocked every location. You must defeat the elite enemy at the latest location. Maybe 2 unlock the next one. Yeah, also there should have been a period at the end of this. And maybe then we hide the cost label and hide the build button. Actually, hiding... We only disabled the build button? Yeah. Oh, Pop-Out chat and floating YouTube player. Gotcha. Yeah, best of both worlds. Video on YouTube, chat on Twitch. It's the only reason why I haven't done it. I have a handful of subs here and I feel bad about canceling those. Well, don't feel bad about canceling mine. Because it doesn't make a huge difference to me, I guess. And if I were you, I'd just get turbo if I'm watching a bunch of channels. It zooms in when you start to type. I wonder what's doing that. I've never heard of that. It's pretty funny. Do you have some super smart way of doing localization in the future? We have a PR proof of concept for localization, and Godot provides a way of doing this that makes it, I'd say, like pretty reasonable. So if you take a look at this, you have these .po files, which give you an ID for a particular string and then what the localized version should be. And then you just specify somewhere where these IDs are. Sorry, that was the wrong file. Over here, you just specify the IDs. It's pretty straightforward. All right, I don't think this should cost any money. So I think we just unlock the next one automatically. Let's try this out. Wisdomous. Yeah, and if you're not doing something in Godot, I think probably whatever you're using, if you're making a game, should have some localization sort of framework built in. At its core, localization is just substituting some strings, pretty much. So it's not like it's a super complex feature to begin with. Is Adam the final boss? Hey, Ender. No, I'm not the final boss. I will probably be a customer in the game, though. What we're working on now is making it so that you can beat a boss. So right now, okay, here's how this works. We only have the forest available. When we click the portal, we can unlock the dungeon. So we augment the portal. Then when we click this again, we can unlock the boss location. And then we click it again, it says you must defeat the elite enemy at the latest location to unlock the next one. The next one should probably say the next location. Next one. But anyway, now we go into the canyon and we start the battle and we force a win. There we go. And now the portal, yeah, nice. Now we unlock the volcano. We just got to wait for the rogue to walk all the way back to the portal. And we're in the volcano. Cool, cool, cool. I like it a lot. I also really like that we spread out where items can spawn here. It is nice to just be able to click them. We should probably render shadows or something, maybe. Not sure. What's your take on FP versus OOP? So with Godot, I think using object-oriented programming makes a little bit more sense because they already have inheritance in the whole engine. But And I never tried functional programming for an entire project. I tend to use it for like portions of something where I feel like it kind of makes sense. But it really is just whatever floats your boat. It's not like software hasn't been made with both paradigms, and it can be successful, it can be easy to maintain. It all depends on how you do it. Where's my hoodie? They're on Amazon. I don't have a quick link to them, but if you just search Skeleseller hoodie, whatever hots your bot. All right, yeah, I think this is it. I think we're done with this part, right? Unlock the next instance. Now, we don't keep track specifically of how many bosses you've beaten. We just keep track of which instances you've unlocked, and from that, we could figure out how many bosses you've beaten. We are going to switch these to properties, I guess. And maybe this too should be a property. I love how that just deletes everything in the game. There's that. There's that. So that's the latest instance ID. I guess we should call this next. Is there a way to change this to a property? Yes, there is. Get next instance ID. No matching results. Well, why didn't it change it for the first one, I wonder? Huh, weird. Well, whatever. Okay, now we put the properties up at the top. Put the properties up at the topperty. See, Dad, thanks for resubbing. How goes it? Are you feeling rested? Heard they made the game Thumper with procedural programming. No object-oriented programming at all, so that's neat. Yeah. I think, like I said, I think it's whatever's going to make you effective as a developer. Well, there's one caveat, which is I think it depends on what your team is doing too. But yeah, if your team doesn't care or you're the sort of CTO of your team, then just do whatever you want. All's good here. Glad to hear it. All is going well here too. I'm making some progress. I feel like I'm sort of back to normal today. I was pretty tired on Monday. Unlock next instance. So this is done. I think let's just check this in and then work on the money limit thing next. This looks good. This looks good. Good, good. You must defeat the elite enemy at the latest location. This is the only part I'm not sure I totally like. At the latest location. Should we just say at the like canyon? Yeah, we probably should. Where is that? The portal? Latest location. Current instance data. We'll just do that. Current. It's not going to complete this for me. All right, let's try that out. Immutability in game dev is a hard sell. Some engines, I would say, probably support it just out of the box. This is so stupid. Closing brace should be followed by a blank line. Like, please tell me this goes away, because this is not the kind of closing brace that it cares about. I'm going to reload this window. Is the needed? It is for now, because this says something like the canyon or the dungeon. But in the future, I probably want like a display name and then maybe a display name with article or something. I'm not totally sure. It looks like this is still complaining. So stupid. So stupid. All right, fine. Let's do it this way. All right, now I want to look at how that looks in the game. Yeah, I think if it were just like a proper noun purely, I think it would look bad. But see how this says unlocks the dungeon for battling, and you click it again, unlocks the canyon for battling. And it says you must defeat the elite enemy at the canyon to unlock the next location. Yeah. So I think this is fine. I know it is maybe a little weird that we're capitalizing what is just a regular noun. Queried over time, you can't be a pure function as data changes. This is one of those post-lunch things where Godik is probably being very reasonable here, and my brain is just not processing what he's saying. So I trust Godik. All right, so we go to the canyon, start the battle, win the battle, click this again, and it says unlocks the jungle. Cool. Yeah, looking good. Now, where do we leave off with the diff? In the battle, got rid of a to-do item. Yeah, looks good. Cool. Unlock next instance after beating boss. This is, whoa, cringe man child. What a name. Also, thanks for gifting 5 subs. That's very nice of you. I don't think I've ever even seen you here before. I have not. Wow, well, welcome to the stream. That's quite the first message to send. It's just gifting 5 subs. And thanks, Nocta. Yeah. This is assuming that there is a next instance, although we gracefully handle when there isn't. Used to watch you on another account some time ago. Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say your account that you're on now is, I think, 2 years old. And Nilox, thank you too for subbing. Wow, look at all these subs rolling in. Thanks, everyone. And yeah, welcome, new subs. Hope you're all having a good time being here. I've been having a great time working on Skeleseller, and I think it's probably shown. I think there are times when I'm working on something that I'm just like stressed out and frustrated, and I'm not making a lot of progress, but I think things have been pretty good. All right, next thing is to increase the money limit. We don't have the next money limits in the game. We should probably store these in an array. Public, static, read only, long. Money limits. All right, well, the first one's 150. I have no idea what the other one should be. I guess they've got to be at least, I'm just going to make up numbers. I don't really care. 1,000, 5,000, 50,000. Sure. Actually, the final one should probably be like 999,999,9. That's what, 10 million? Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome back, Cringe. I'm curious, if you don't mind sharing, and you certainly don't have to, what your old account name was. Always have a special place in my heart. I love that game. That was such a blast. Yeah, a lot of the times when I've had the most fun are when I'm doing game development. But I guess I really haven't done too much stuff on stream that I could say when I wasn't having fun. Yeah. So this thing about starting max money, let's go delete. Starting max money. This is going to be set to this. And then we need some kind of event for like, have you beaten a boss for the first time? And nothing tells you this right now. Start instance list. Where do I have this? Next instance ID. This was done inside of here. So if you've won and it was elite, then unlock the next instance. Oh, this is a gigantic mistake. Wow. I didn't even think about this. This is supposed to check if you've beaten them for the first time, and it doesn't. We need to know whether you've beaten a boss for the first time. Technically, we can figure this out with a combination of max adventurer level and the instance data, but that wouldn't help for the final boss. So we should just store which levels of each boss you've beaten. Which means we gotta be careful about the enemy IDs that we use, right? Where do we even store that information? It's not called enemy ID, I guess. Why is this taking so long to search? It should be practically instantaneous. All enemy data. What is going on? Huh. Is this your first game or your 10th? I've made several games before this, although not all of them have been released. The ones that I guess I released were Animal Royale, or like sort of released. Botland, Jump Royale, Ophog. A lot of these have commands. So like Botland, Hog, Jump Royale. I don't know if Animal Royale has a command, and I think that's open source. I don't fully remember. I don't have a Git repo here, but maybe it's in the YouTube video. Huh. I don't know. What's that game? That was this game. The one that's like a reverse tower defense game. The way it worked was you would put down units at sort of the beginning of these trails, and then they'd get into battles, and you could use items and stuff. It was, I don't know. It's a like a 3 or 4 hour long game, and I wouldn't say it's very fun toward the end, but it's a complete game. Oh, hey, we finally loaded this. Okay, so yeah, enemy ID ogre. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save a dictionary of the enemy IDs for the bosses, and then what the highest level is that you've beaten. Yeah. Fix bug where we're unlocking the next instance even if you beat the same boss over and over. And to fix that is save a dictionary, well, and load a dictionary of enemy ID to int level, highest level of boss defeated, highest level defeated, I guess. Oh, I see still. Oh man. My favorite setup for that is oh yeah, sorry, it took me a while to get into work. I had to take the Henway today. And someone says, "What's a Henway?" I don't know, about 3 or 4 pounds. I think it probably helps if you actually know what a hen weighs if you say that. About 5.5 pounds, apparently. Yeah. All right, so saving this information, I think start instance could still know about it. And we have save data here, right? Yeah, we do. All right, so let's make a public dictionary enemy ID and then int highest boss levels defeated, highest level. Yeah, whatever. This is clear enough. All right, it's going to be blank by default. And when we save this, we're going to save this dictionary. And I think dictionaries should just get saved totally fine. Like, we won't have any problem with doing things this way. Let's call it the same thing. Highest deleted. I think we also are going to need to take this in when we construct this thing. Yeah, I think so. All right, element should be separated with a blank line. Parameter is capitalized. So make this lowercase. And now when we construct this, we pass in the highest boss levels defeated. All right, then we have a load function somewhere. Set adventurers, load from save data. Can we just do this? Does that work? Property or indexer cannot be assigned. It is read only. What? Oh, because there's no set here. All right. We're not storing any information in this, and we need to. So I guess if you win and it's elite, then we need to know what the level is. This is the... Oh, this isn't even going to work. Oh, man. All right, we need to know what's in here. Is that an all instance data? We just know that this is elite. We don't actually know. Oh, this is stupid. Well, this is probably stupid. We should probably store it based on instance ID, not based on the the enemy ID. All right, that was dumb. Let's go change this. Highest. Yeah, I think it's still the same name. But then this changes to instance ID, which means we don't need this anymore. And load. That's all fine. Instance data.level. We actually don't have this information. Stream comes closest to what real game dev looks like. Well, I gotta say thank you, but I don't think that that's probably fair of other game dev streams. I think a lot of developers are doing the same general thing that I'm doing. And yeah, maybe it just takes some exploring of the category to find them. Because dev encompasses a lot of things. You could consider it to be making music for a game. You can consider it just the coding. You consider it artwork. You could game design. It could be really anything. And practically everyone in the software and game dev category is doing at least some of that stuff some of the time. I guess they have different levels of how much they might be interacting with chat. But even this morning, I was pretty talkative. All right, so we have no concept of what level the boss was because we haven't gotten to this next task where they level up. So I guess we kind of have to work on all of these things simultaneously. So how should this work? Right now, all we have is a concept of starting an instance. I don't even know where that happens. Yeah, I don't know where this happens. Somewhere we say like that you requested to start a battle. Yeah, here, then we call start battle. That calls into this. That calls create instance. Create instance is in the instances manager, but doesn't have a reference to the start instance thing. So it won't know what level to make the boss. But we have a reference to town, and town has a reference to the start instance thing, I think. Let's see if that's the case. Start instance. It does. It's not public. Although I guess the instance list is maybe public. Nope. Well, we could just make this public. Talking about the classic one-man teams. I'm not a one-man team though. I guess a one-man streamer in that the rest of the team doesn't stream, but like I'm working on this game with 4 other people. Just call that property highest elite, not highest boss. I don't know. Do we use boss elsewhere? No, we don't. Just here, num boss is defeated. I guess I should call this num elites defeated. I actually kind of liked the idea of calling them boss in code and elites outside of the code. Because we might change the name elite and maybe it gets overloaded. But I guess if they're elites here, they should just be elites in the code too. Yeah, 1 cat as well. There you go, none. All right, so highest elite levels defeated. Do we use the word boss anywhere else? Yeah, that's it. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna figure out how this thing starts an instance. That was in instances manager. Something's gonna need to control the levels of these things. There need to be stat growths for the enemies. The enemies don't have that right now. I guess just bosses would need that stuff. I don't know what we're gonna do for this. I certainly do not. Maybe some special logic somewhere that, I don't know, I'm not gonna worry about it yet. But what do we do here? Create an instance slot and then make an instance and instantiate it this way. Does this make the battle system? This does. Yeah, so the only way for this to work is for us to know what level the boss should be. to do get the level, I guess, see if this instance is elite, and if so, figure out the level of the boss based on the last level you fought, or level 1 if you didn't fight it. Figure out how to scale the stats based on that level. The battle system doesn't get initialized like this though. Why is VS Code being so slow? It's just trying to open a file. I'm going to restart the whole thing. I don't know what's going on there. There is an update. Let's get the update. Maybe that'll help. Just waiting for it to restart. All right, should pop open the patch notes. Then we can figure out what actually changed. Patch notes, hello. Why did it stop opening those? Update. Is there some like auto open? Show release notes after an update. Yeah, why? It's not doing that. It didn't open them, did it? No. Huh, weird. Well, anyway, I know you can get to them through this, but should automatically do it. Is there anything interesting here? What was that? Have I seen this before? Nah, I don't care. Improve chat context, test environment setup. Yeah, I think the only thing I'm not totally aware of is this. What is this? Improve the find feature in Explorer to make it easier to search for projects, files in large projects. You can open the find control in the file explorer by using Alt Command F. Is he managing? Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, this doesn't matter too much to me, I guess. If enough changes accumulate, things get odd. Yeah, I guess all I was trying to do was open a file, though. It seemed weird. All right, so this creates enemy battlers, which means we need to know what level or like some scaling or something here. And I don't think we want to scale stats by just a percentage or something. I think we might want to add new abilities. So, for example, maybe the level 1 ogre is just like a tough enemy. But maybe at level 2, it unlocks the berserk ability. And maybe at level 5, it unlocks like plus 25% defense or something like that. I don't know if even that's a good idea. Because, like, is this making the fight harder or different at all? Does it even matter when you've automated the game and you're always the highest level? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Give me an ultimate at level 6, just like Dota. There are no ultimates, but I don't know if you saw the revamped skill trees. I'll show you those really quickly. Just waiting for this to build. Yeah, so now instead of just having 4 skills you can always pick from, you unlock them like you would expect. So a skill tree, you need 3 points to get to the bottom tier. And these aren't really ultimate abilities. Usually they're at least a little bit stronger than the other ones, but they're not like crazy powerful or something. What if each level adds a phase of the fight? Well, there are going to be 7 levels. I think 7 phases for each boss is way too much. It would also take a long time to go through them all. Even if each phase took 10 seconds, it'd be 70 seconds when you win. And 10 seconds for a phase is not long enough to tell what is going on in that phase. So yeah, I think there could be phases, but I don't think it'd be 1 per level. But yeah, I think having the flexibility to add in new abilities, change the stats, etc., I think all that's good. So I think what we need to do is have the battle system know about this. We have create enemy battlers. This already takes in an instance ID from which we could figure out if this is elite, and then spawn the boss based on some different logic. Still not totally sure what we would do. Am I making devlog videos for Skeleseller? I am. I've only made one so far. I'll make the second one probably around checkpoint number 4. In fact, if I don't already have that written down, I should probably have that written down. Launch. Do I have a vlog or YouTube or something? No, I don't. Add a task to record another vlog for YouTube. Okay, all of that's pretty reasonable. So all I need to do is pass in the level. Okay, so int level equals 1. If, do we have instance data? Nope. Instance data equals get if instance data dot is elite. Actually, we don't even need to do this. We could just query start instance regardless. Because if this doesn't exist in there, then we can make it exist. I'll watch that later. All right, yeah, cool. I mean, if you've followed enough of development, it's not going to be all that interesting to watch. I am kind of debating, does it make sense for other locations to level up? I don't think so. I think if anything, you'd be able to control the level, but yeah, I don't think so. All right, so here we're going to pull it from town. Town.start instance.instance list dot. Now we need to figure out what it's called in here. What did I call it? I don't even know where it is. Highest elite levels defeated. All right, and then we got to use this, but this doesn't even exist yet. So now we need to go make this thing. Town start instance public. All right, so it's going to be get private set. And then put this down here somewhere. All right, now back to this. So if it's elite, see if we can get, what is it? Try get value ID out level. This is like last beaten level or highest beaten level, highest level defeated. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. All right, what does this do when it fails? True, otherwise argument null exception. That doesn't sound right. True. No, I see. So if it existed, then do that. +1. Good. Oh, all right. Next, let's initialize the battle system with a level, which is only going to be used for bosses. And this should only be called from one location anyway. Yes, good. Int level. All right, I don't know what we even do with that. Probably just when we initialize the enemies, we pass in the level. Is this only ever called from one place? Nope. Nope. We got to store the level then. Private int level. And I guess we'll write a comment here. This is only used for elite instances so that bosses can scale with the level of the instance. Sounds good. Store that off here. And then use it inside create enemy battlers. I don't really have any specific logic for this that I want to apply. Battler by enemy ID. We got to know this for the enemy too. And then we have stats here. So how about this? Let's add a stat multiplier. Stat multiplier equals 1. And then if level is greater than 1 and team is equal to enemy, then the stat multiplier is going to be 2. I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to come up with a really good thing for this. And then let's use the stat multiplier here. There. Okay, so now what am I missing? We're not storing the highest level that we've defeated because the instance doesn't tell you, but the instance doesn't need to tell you. Yeah, so start instance can just do this thing. Highest level defeated equals instance data.level. This was supposed to be the result of the battle. And I guess what we need to do is get the highest level you had defeated. Highest level defeated. Yeah. Why do we need to check the team in that method? Isn't it implied that it's the enemy team? You would think so because of the name, but I'm pretty sure this is used for summons as well. Yeah. So enemy ID is really just a character ID, and your summons happen to use this function. So, yeah. All right, then this is what we do inside start instance. By the way, restarting VS Code did seem to fix this, so that's good. Okay, so if highest level defeated, we just get this for the given ID. What do we do if, how do you get the value or have a default? Is there like a, get value or default? Wow, that's exactly what I want. Okay, let's set it to 1 otherwise. So int level equals this. Actually, we could just do that. Get value plus 1. That should be 0. Yeah. Which means I don't need that logic I just had. Try get value, this thing here. This could just say level equals this dot get value or default ID 1 plus 1. Wait, what? Yeah, I guess plus 1. This should be 0 then. Plus 1. The 1, yeah. All right, figure out the level of the boss, scale the stats, etc., etc. All right, then we are now storing. Get rid of that, I guess. We're now storing the highest level you've defeated, and we're scaling the stats based on that. So there's just no indication that the level of the instance has gone up. Yeah. You're going to look at the canyon, and it's going to say, required level 1 or 2 or whatever the entire time. But I guess that's one of the other things we'll have to change. All right, let's try this out. So how do we do this? Well, I guess winning in a location doesn't actually mean anything. So we augment this twice. So now we're going to fight the boss. And we got to pay attention to how much damage we take. Go to the canyon. We should be taking 28, I think. Yes, 28. Okay, but then we're going to force a win. And now the boss should have become level 2. So now we're going to repeat, and we should be taking 56. So let's see. Ah, nice. Perfect. And we die. Get a kitty cam. $10 million. Yeah, I'm not going to set up another camera. Also, the cat's not even in this room. So the camera would need to be in a different room. All right, what was the issue I just thought of? I don't remember. I remember one of them at least. It wasn't even this. It's over here. Did we write the thing about showing a skull? Yeah. Show the current level of the boss instance in start instance. My limit is 350. I mean, presumably, if you're trying to get me to change pretty much anything about the stream that isn't just an obvious win for everybody, it'd have to cost more than 350. How I end up with a cooking stream and I'm sold on that. I don't think people want to see me cook. Ever since my muffins video. Is that a command? Griffing is. I'm going to make a video for it, or a command for it, I mean. All right, adcom muffins. I'll just, whatever, I'll do that. Oh, I'm not properly scaling enemy stats either. I got to do that eventually. I should just file a task for that. File task to scale boss stats / abilities correctly. Right now, it's just a 2x modifier after you win for the first time. Oh, I didn't test saving. We got to go do that. All right, so what level is the boss right now? If they're doing 28 damage, no. So they're level 2. So if I save this and then open up my save file, we should see that they're level 2. Highest level defeated is 1. Yeah. So I could set this to like 5, but it's not going to make a difference. All right, so now let's try loading the game. Load. And when I go to the canyon, we should be taking 58 damage. 56, I meant. And if I set this to 0 and then load the game, we should be taking 28 damage. That is not the canyon. Why is the flee button not there? Oh, man, because I don't save that. All right, we just gotta, whatever, do that. All right, 28 damage. Nice. It's working. Get more viewers, higher retention, resulting in more ad revenue, and we get a kitty cam. Have you ever thought of what the cat thinks? You think she wants to be videotaped while she's sleeping? Because I do that anyway. But it's only for pictures that we're supposed to have. Like this one. Look at that cat. Can I zoom in on that? Yeah, I can. All right, there. She sleeps like mostly on her back when she's in her cat bed. Do I have another picture of this? I do. Right there. Look at her little feet. All right. That's not going to be something I do yet. So are we done with this? No, we haven't done the increase the money limit part, but I guess we should check in what I've already done because this is pretty important. Yeah, and I should probably just write, this is just a proof of concept for now. Eventually we'll want to scale bosses or elites in a custom way. This is technically everybody in the battle too, which is problematic. We probably want to check to see if it's only the ogre. This is good. This is bad. This is the number of elites defeated is max adventure level -2. Yeah, that's not how that's supposed to be. What do we change that to? We need to fetch everything from the instance list and get all the ones that are set that are greater than 0. Yeah. Yeah. So number of elites defeated. That's something that start instance should figure out. Start instance. We'll just make a property up here. Public int num elites or num unique elites defeated. It's not really just count. It's like count by. Is that a thing you can do? What am I typing? Wasn't there some link thing that's count by? C# link count by. I guess you could just do where and then a count. This looks like it has it. Huh. I don't really know. Oh, cool. What's your cat's name? Yeah, let's pull them up for comparison. There. Yeah. Very interesting. Cat will also be in favor. Then the cat will eventually need to go on a diet. You're not thinking about the cat. Count by dots. Yes. So why couldn't I do this? Am I even using link? I am using link. All right. Well, whatever. We can just do where. Drop where and move the condition. Oh, count can take a condition? All right. Well, that explains that. Doesn't let you just automatically do that, though. Huh. That's pretty cool. Better kitty tree. We've bought 2 cat trees, and she just does not care. So we've returned both of them. Actually, one we gave to a friend, but we returned the other one. Seems like count by is .NET 9. Well, even just having a predicate that you can put here, I think is fine. What theme is this? Check out the theme command. Cat sleeps in an Amazon box. The cat sleeps actually usually in that cat bed I showed. Toulouse had suggested getting a cat bed that was pressure sensitive and then started a heating pad. We thought we bought that, but actually what we bought is just a cat bed with a heating pad. There's no pressure sensitivity on it. So the bed's always warm and she loves it. She absolutely loves it. She also loves electric blankets and heating pads. She cannot get enough of that stuff. Okay, so if we've got this over there, then I guess num elites defeated can be changed to be town.start instance.num elites defeated. And then delete the rest of that stuff. And is this only used in one place? It is. And let's not even have a variable for it. Let's just put this here. They're high-tech sunbeams, yeah. We've never put a heating pad in a sunbeam. I think that would be too much for her, though. Because cats do get kind of spicy when they're too hot. She'll start like swatting at us when we just try to pet her. Okay, I think we're good. Let's review the new code. So I'd like to not check this stuff in. I don't even think we really used this. Money limits. Yeah, we just use it there, which we could just ignore. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. What is this? Get net classes to offer. Could be 0. That's fine. This is also fine. Well, let me read this one more time and just make absolutely certain. So the level's going to be 1 unless you do anything else. If it's an elite instance, we're going to get the level from here. So if you already beat it once, the level's going to be 1 because you killed the level 1 thing. So this is going to be set to level 2. If you didn't kill anything, it's going to be 0 plus 1, which will set it to 1. Yeah, that sounds fine. That's all good. This I don't want to check in. But I want to check in everything else. Yeah, so every other part of town looks fine. How about we just undo that one change to town? No, doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everything else looks good, right? Yep, yep, yep. Raimu, tier 3. Thank you for the 3 sub. Welcome back. I think Raimu might be the only tier 3 sub. There might be one other person. I'm not totally sure. But you get this special stupid emote. I think this was the tier 2 one. They're not very worthwhile. I didn't like locking things behind a paywall, which is why I didn't make the emote very desirable. Then again, I think they really increased the amount of emotes you could have on Twitch, and then they added animated emotes too. This stuff all looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm happy with this, and I'm happy with that. Yeah. So all we need to do is make sure we don't check in this stuff. So this should not be checked in. And in the town, we're going to, oh, you know what we could do? We could just select the one line we don't want. Where is that line? Here. And just go unstage. Instead of selecting all the lines we do want, which is frustrating because we've got them all over the place. And that's it. Ideally, this works, but if not, whatever, it'll be broken for commit that no one ever uses in isolation. So what do we do? Keep track of highest level elites defeated. I also now apply a rudimentary level scaling for bosses. In short, if you've beaten a boss instance before, all enemies in that instance will get a 2x stat. Oh my god, that's what I meant. I knew it. I knew I forgot something. I forgot to scale their health as well. I knew it. All right, well, let's just write that down for next up. Scale boss health with level changes. 2x stat multiplier. Can't believe it took that long for me to dislodge that memory. All right, that's good. We don't do anything else with this information except for handle adventurer choice better. This technically, I'm not gonna write this down. Should I write this down? Yeah, technically, I'm not gonna write this down. Okay, there. So next up is we can start to use this thing, start instance. So this is broken right now. We just check if it's elite, but we don't check to see what level did you already defeat. So int, sure, level. Dio, thanks for the resub and welcome back. Happy 2 years. Man, today has been a crazy day for subscriptions. I feel like the number is finally going up after a very long time. What are we at? We're at 117 subs. Good job, chat. Thank you. Clap indeed. All right, so if level is equal to 0, then we know that you've killed it for the first time. You beat the instance for the first time, and it was a boss instance. Yeah. There was some other thing I wanted to do here. Losing my train of thought. I guess it was just the money stuff. Maybe there should be a signal, though, when you beat this for the first time. Start instance could know. Then again, I guess town could just know. Or even we could put it in the battle results. Like anything can figure this out. Hey, Hef. Yeah. All right, well, let's increase your max money now. Ended battle. That's not what I want. I want this one. And I want to know when you've beaten a boss from here. And when you have beaten a boss. Yeah, there should be a signal beat boss for first time. Yeah. Okay, let's do it in this then. And I guess start instance can listen to it. So it's not just ended battle, it's going to be town dot beat elite for first time plus equal beat elite for first time. All right, there is no signal that exists for this. And technically ended battle isn't even needed anymore. And maybe we pass in the instance ID. And then do all of this stuff. And then this isn't needed. Yeah, next instance ID. We got to be very careful about this stuff. Yeah, very careful about this. This isn't needed either. Maybe be elite instance for first time is a better name. Okay, now the town needs that. So we have ended battle. That's right here. We're going to make a thing called that. And we're going to do this from ended battle here. So we have the condition already. It was in start instance. And I want to use that, but inside the town. So basically copy this. So we need to know if you've won and that this thing is elite and that the level of this thing was set to 0. And in that case, we want to invoke this. Yeah. Wow, whoops. Can't get rid of that. Yeah. All right, nice. Now, the other thing we can do in here is set your max money. Set max money to game constants dot max. What do I call it? Money limit? Money limits. What is it? Get within bounds. The index is how many elite things you've beaten. Start instance dot highest. It's not even that. Like num unique elites defeated. There. All right, let's try it out. That should do it. We need to unlock all locations though, so I don't need to keep clicking buttons. Unlock all. There's no unlock all locations. How do we do that? Debug, unlock all instances. That's what I want. Here's what's going to happen. We are going to try beating the canyon. So we're going to kill the ogre. And then, oh my God, why is this hard for me to focus? Then our max money should go up. What went wrong here? This just capitalized? No. Oh, it's num unique elites defeated. It says it doesn't contain a definition for that, but it definitely does. Num elites defeated. No, I don't have a problem with that. It's the post-lunch haze. I had tacos for lunch. Probably ate too much. Kind of wonder if I just didn't get lunch and just took a break for an hour or had like a really small amount of food. Would that be better for me? All right, so let's go to the canyon. Our current max money, it says, is 150. When we beat this, it should go up. Now it's 1,000. If we beat it again, it should not go up. Perfect. What'd you get in the tacos? They were pretty basic because I've eaten all the other leftovers now. So it was just beef, sour cream, and lettuce. My wife made some like mango cilantro salsa and some guacamole, but I already finished that stuff. So yeah, pretty basic today. All right, I think this is done. Yeah. I just got to review this. Hey, Dark. Yeah, it was yummy. I had a very good lunch. So this is if you won, that's all good. Oh, I know. This shouldn't be here anymore. And I just didn't get rid of it yet. This ended battle stuff. In fact, how did this not cause a bug? I guess because this code can run twice and there's no real problem. One thing we did not test, which I need to go test. Unlock all instances. We need to test that you can still get to the, whatever the next place is called, the volcano. And I think it should work. Did we do this here? Yeah, unlock instance. Okay. Ended battle doesn't exist. That's fine. Just delete it. In fact, is ended battle used for anything now? I wonder. Town ended battle. Does anything listen for this? Nope. Well, wait, we do, which is kind of stupid, huh? Yeah, fine. Been a while since we've had tacos. Need to nudge my partner about it. What's your preferred taco fillings? Because in my mind, the two things that need to be there, lettuce, shredded lettuce, and sour cream. Those are must-haves. Everything else is a can-have. But there's certain things that I feel like I almost have for the condiments. Like if I ever have a fish sandwich, the reason I'm eating it is because tartar sauce is like the greatest thing in the world. Cheese, I stopped putting cheese in my tacos. I feel like it's an optional thing for me. All right, so you should be able to unlock the dungeon, the canyon, nothing else. You go to the canyon, you win the fight. And now we've unlocked the next location. Yeah, nice. Fish is the excuse to eat tartar sauce. It's just such a good combination. It's like hash browns and ketchup. It's really, really good. Fajitas and cheese, yeah. Yeah, I think probably a lot of people would say cheese on tacos. Oh, did I delete this? I don't know if I did. Battle ended. Yeah, I did. All right, so then that's not needed. Might as well run a .NET format on this. And then look through this one more time. Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Cool. We're making good progress. Yeah. I am pretty happy. Whoa, what changed? Hang on. A couple things probably got rid of unused imports. This got rid of a new line. Isn't that the last change I just made? Something about a stat multiplier? Yeah. Let's just check that and then battle system. And then something else should have changed here too. Portal. Did I modify the portal in the last one? How do you see the change files? Get see changed files in previous commit. Get diff name only. Sure. Portal did not change. Okay, well, whatever. We can amend the last commit for this. And then we'll just say remove unused imports. And then is all this stuff good? Yeah. So what do we say for this? Update money limit after beating elites. There was this bread that I had for lunch in the US, and I think I finally found it. Apparently, it's called a buttermilk biscuit. Oh, man. I don't know why that's so funny to me. But yeah, these are pretty good. They're really good with jam. Couldn't find the name. I'd say they're common. I wouldn't say they're like lunch school things, maybe. I would say they're like sort of expect this from a restaurant. Yeah. I wonder how many places in the world have sweet breakfast. 'Cause I feel like the US has a lot of sweet breakfast, from pancakes and waffles to like yogurts and parfaits, oatmeal with like some sweetener usually, or fruits. What else? I don't know. Like crepes, I guess, fall under pancakes. But yeah, how many cultures actually do that? Just chewy, delicious bread. So this is done. This is done. This is done. This is done. After beating the first boss, show the sign to unlock the enchanter. Okay, the only thing I take exception to is the first part of this message. I don't know if you should unlock the enchanter after the first boss. I want you to get the enchanter maybe an hour into the game. I guess let's just do it, and we could just change it later. It's the main thing in Spain too. Trying to think of what I had for breakfast. Then again, we were on the Camino for most of it. I think tortilla was super common. that was the most common thing. Eggs and potatoes. Although I did get a lot of fresh squeezed orange juice, which I greatly appreciated. Tons of other ones. Have you ever had Reese's Puffs? It's Reese's for breakfast. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's showing me Target on a map. Trying to leak my location. Yeah. It's ridiculous that this cereal even exists. Although I guess Oreo O's are probably the biggest offender. All right, show the sign to unlock the enchanter. I don't know where we do this right now. There's an enchanter sign somewhere. I guess let's just look at signs and then enchanter. And then this and find the color of this. It's not used anywhere. Literally nowhere. That's impossible, right? Yeah, that's impossible. I think that's impossible. It's not? What? What? Oh, maybe there's show remaining signs and that's what does it? Yeah, that's what does it. It's this function that's being called just because I'm lazy. Yeah, this stuff. When you get enough money, we can show you all the other signs. I don't want to do that anymore. I want it to be when you beat the boss. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to show all the signs after, I guess, you've beaten the boss. Elite greater than 1. Let's not do the money thing here. In fact, none of this should even be here, right? Yeah, it shouldn't be. Just search for the word elite. Yeah. Let's show all remaining signs. I really just want to show the enchanter sign, I think. But yeah, for now, this is good enough. Yeah, that, Kevin. Potato tortilla with bread. Yeah, the toast with tomato I was not a fan of. I had that once, and I was like, this is severely lacking for me. Had a box sitting there for weeks now. Should probably throw it out. Tastes virtually nothing like it. I mean, it's pretty tasty. It's pretty much just sugar. If you like sugar, you're probably gonna like that. What am I even testing? I'm just so out of it right now. Ah, yes. After beating the boss, we want to show the sign to unlock the enchanter. So no amount of money is going to get you there. We need to unlock this, go to the canyon. And then as soon as I click the win battle button, we should see a sign appear. Well, a bunch of signs should appear. Yep. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I like it. Done and done. Easy and peasy. Show signs after beating first boss. It used to be that we would show these after getting 40G, well, greater than 40G, and having a shop unlocked. But that was out of laziness. This is still out of laziness, but it's closer to what we want. Was it like this? Yes. Yeah. Just wasn't for me. I think I'm picky about tomatoes. I don't think they belong on everything, but lots of other people think they belong on everything. Set max adventure level based on how many bosses you've defeated. Where do we want to do that? Max adventure level. Did we ever modify this? Set. So that we can modify the skill tree. Yeah, I never do this. Okay. Equals game constants. Dot. It's not even that. It's just math.min, the max adventure level, and the number of elites defeated minus the starting max adventure level, or plus that, I guess. Is that good? I think that's good. Let's try it out. Hi, Caleb. Let's say I want to make tacos. Recipe might be lean beef, tortillas, cheese, salt, taco seasoning. What's taco seasoning? Oh, it's everywhere. You can get it from your local Walmart. I mean, you could then look it up, right? Taco seasoning ingredients. Because it's just cayenne pepper and a bunch of other things. Chili powder, cumin, paprika. Yeah. But yes, I do buy my taco seasoning from Costco, so we have a big thing of it. Man, I used to make chili using some pre-mixed chili set of spices. And that was the only way I've made chili. I've never actually mixed the spices myself. And when that pack of spices became too expensive, it was already a ripoff, but it was even more of a ripoff. Then I stopped knowing how to make chili. Sad day, because I love chili. Okay, so your max level is 2, and then you beat the boss. And it goes up to 3. And then we're going to beat that exact same boss, and it should still only be at 3. Yes, good. Said I have to concoct it myself. Yeah, I feel like there are enough grocery stores here of different varieties and different ethnicities that it's pretty easy to find that. Like if I'm making East Asian cuisine, for example, there are a couple of Asian grocery stores around here. And I mean, I don't make a lot of Asian food. I have in the past, but I assume I could find the taco seasoning equivalents by just going and buying it and not having to make anything. And yeah, I guess in other countries it's not really that way. Something I always thought was kind of funny is there will be like a US aisle in grocery stores. There'll be things like Pop Tarts and M&Ms. I don't know, whatever else. But I'd probably love whatever that aisle is. Peanut butter, maybe? Is peanut butter considered like an American thing in other cultures? As doing tacos rather than getting a bunch of spices about this one jar that just had Mexican on the front. Oh man. Well, as long as it tastes good. Being a cannibal, I guess sometimes has its perks. Imported Twizzlers a couple of times. I met an American who called them Twitzlers. That stuck with me. And it was like 20 years ago. Twitzlers. It's just so stupid sounding. All right, so we've increased the maximum level and say which ones you defeated. Yeah, this is all pretty easy. Increase max adventurer level when beating elites. There is one thing we didn't test here, and it's does the skill tree update if you kill the boss while you have it open, I guess. Some cultures, peanut butter is a fruit. What? Yeah, lots of candies and other stuff. We go there for Sour Patch Kids. I'm from the UK. See UK aisle occasionally on Reddit. To be honest, it's usually quite accurate. It's probably a lot of people who move and then want that food and they eventually ask the grocery store. It's like around here, I think there's like a decent sized Indian population such that grocery stores started stocking different things. So like our Costco has a lot of lentils and rice and things that Indian people would typically want to buy. And I think that's a good thing. I think if what I wanted to buy then got pushed out, I think that would be really tough. Although presumably some other grocery store would stock it. And that's what I was saying, I think is what's nice about, at least where I live. There's a lot of choice. All right, so the thing I want to test, and I guess this is somewhat hard to do. This says 1 out of 2. Can we force a win? Yes, we can. Well, this is open. Nice, went to 1 out of 3. Perfect. And commit. Is that fresh food and basic ingredients? Fresh food and basic ingredients. Bah. Bah, I say. Where are the Pop-Tarts? Where are the cookies for breakfast? I level up bosses every time you beat them. We've done this. We are just churning through these tasks. Clean up. Consider changing the portal function that finds the next instance to pull that data from instance data. There could be a next instance ID. I don't see a reason why we can't do this, but I also don't see a reason why we should do this. All instance data is currently organized in... Ooh, wait, what? A dictionary. How are we doing this then? Oh, we're doing it based on instance ID. Okay, yeah. We are assuming that forest will always come before dungeon, which will always come before canyon, etc. And the problem with this is that we might end up changing this order, but we'd break save files if we were to change it in here. So yeah, I think we should make this change. If only to stop ourselves from making a big mistake later. Root beer. I hear root beers are really acquired taste. I gave up soda a long time ago, but I loved root beer. Especially root beer floats. I wonder how many people have floats. For those who don't know, it's just soda and ice cream. I guess it's maybe similar to an Italian soda. Is that a thing? Italian soda. Club soda, syrup, and cream. Yeah, it's pretty much similar to that. Just ice cream instead of cream. But, whew, pretty tasty. Apparently Dr. Pepper got way more popular worldwide. It's the second most popular soda in the US. Yeah, that was my favorite soda for sure. And I always thought if I found out I was going to die in like a year, would I drink soda again? And I suspect it would taste too sweet to me. Hey, Vipo. Dr. Pepper the best, yeah. Except so many Wendy's Frosty floats. I don't know if I've had one of those. I had a Frosty, but I might have given up soda before I even knew a Frosty float was a thing. I don't actually know. So this stuff's all fine. I think we should just write what the next instance ID is. Yeah. Instance ID, next instance ID. All right, now we need to go manifest all of those. This should be very simple to do because we can do a trick here and just select all of these things. And now we're done. So all of them except for Inferno. Wait, I should not have selected that one. Yeah, I want to select these. Next instance ID, instance ID, like that. Perfect. All right, and then the final one doesn't have anything. So I guess we can say none. And everything should look good. Yep. Next up, start instance has a next instance. No, it doesn't. Instance list has a next instance. And we get the latest one. And then instead of getting the next one that's higher than that, we're just going to return instance data like that. Easy peasy. Carbonated fruit juice and aren't sweet at all. Carbonated fruit juice. What are they? They have like sparkling juice in the US. Isn't that kind of the same thing, I guess? I guess it depends on your definition of juice. But yeah, they kind of have everything. Having spin drift. I've never heard of this. I have given up quite a lot of things such that I don't have anything with carbonation, caffeine, tea, coffee, probably other things I'm forgetting. But yeah, I'm very limited in what I tend to drink. It's pretty much water and like meal replacement drink. Let's see, that's looking good. This is all looking good. So we should make sure that this is what it should look like in the game. Hey, free technique. Only a limited amount of water allowed. What's the limit? Carbonated water with fruit juice. They had something that was carbonated water with like, this sounds dumb to say because I don't know if it's true, but it just smelled like there was some other calorie involving substance in it. But it was just a smell. I don't know. The limit is your cells explode or something. Oh yeah, don't you need some amount of electrolytes with however much water you drink? You don't displace electrolytes. Clearly not a medical professional over here. Had to get a coffee back in June for health reasons. Honestly, my anxiety levels have never been so manageable. Wow, nice. Yeah. I think generally coffee is healthy to have. And apparently, and I know this because Hideo shared an article with me a while ago, the upper limit on how much you can have per day is 25 cups without causing like extreme heart failure. Not extreme heart failure, but just some health problem. All right, so dungeon, then canyon. This just says next location. Maybe we should say what the next location is. Next instance data dot display name. Yeah. All right, but then let's go beat that. Canyon start and win. There we go. So next up is the jungle. I don't have enough money, and I can't get enough money because we priced it higher with them what the limit is. Well, that's fun. What a fun game. I guess let's change the cost instead of being 1,234 to being something like 999. Thanks, Vibe. Yeah. I tend to just wear this when I'm cold. It's not just because I'm trying to advertise the game more, but I felt like if I'm going to wear a hoodie at all, it might as well be a branded hoodie. You have no overhead getting them. That's a lot of time spent drinking and a lot of liquid. It is a lot of liquid, right? It's like 200 ounces. Imagine one 200-ounce container of coffee. No, whoops. Oh, drat. I didn't mean to click that, but it probably worked. I'm just going to assume it all worked. I'm not testing this anymore. Shane, they got a spelling mistake. I know. Yeah, got to get a reprint. First edition Skeleseller hoodies. All right. I like it. The only thing I want to check is that last bit about the next location name. Skeleseller indeed. That's what Caleb's been calling it, which is why we made the Skeleseller command. Yeah, to unlock the volcano. Cool. Manifest next instance ID. Rather than rely on the order of the instance ID enumeration, there is now an explicit what property? I'll just call it a property to reference to figure out the next instance or next location. Monday and Thursday, and usually then it's 1 or 2. Yeah. I bet the sort of average coffee amount that people drink, if they're going to drink coffee, is somewhere between like 1 and 2 cups. And then people like Hideo have like 8 cups a day. But yeah, probably most people have 1 or 2, maybe 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. All right, this is done. And now we're on to this stuff. If you have the portal dialog open and it says you need to beat the current instance, and then you do beat the current instance, we should consider updating the dialog. I wonder what it would take to do this, because this isn't very important, but it's a nice little thing that just prevents some confusion. Hey, DJ. So basically, this is what I'm talking about. It says you must defeat the elite enemy at the canyon to unlock the volcano, and there's an augment button. But I guess when you beat that, it could just close this dialog because it will automatically unlock it. Yeah, that would be good. Let's try that out then. So unlock next location. That's here. It's portal. It has a dialog. Portal could listen to the towns you just beat that thing and then close the dialog. I mean, should be easy, right? Town.elite plus equal beat elite instance for first time. Sounds good. And then we just say if this is not equal to null, then close it. Is that even possible? Apparently not. How do you close this thing? How do you force close it? There's no close. Really? I mean, it's not that hard to do. We could just add a force close thing. But how do we never do this? I guess because it's for buildings specifically. Maybe text dialog has it. Text dialog has a close. Yeah, sure, fine. Let's go make a close. Just paste this over here. So now what does that call? OnClose.invoke and queue free. Easy, easy. And then that's all we need to do. Doesn't this listen for onClose though and then null itself out? Subscribe to onClose, set it to null. Perfect. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. It can be simplified. What? With an is? Use null propagation. Oh, I see. Nice. And move this to the bottom. All right. That wasn't too bad. Cup is like 16 to 18 ounces. Ryan was like, bring me the barrel of coffee. I require caffeine. Just rolling down the hall. Takes like 3 people. All right. So we're going to keep this open while we beat the canyon. And it closes. Perfect. That but brown, yeah. Is pumpkin spice a thing outside of the US? Is there like a craze elsewhere in the world? I feel like it's pervaded everything now. Yeah, so this is done. Looks good. Close portal dialog if elite is beaten. If you're looking at the dialog that says, I don't know what it says. What does it say? You must defeat the elite enemy. And you do defeat it, then the dialog will close since you will have unlocked the next location. Starbucks has it here, but that's about it. Skeleseller mug is 20 ounces. It luckily is not. The UK has some offerings. That's because the UK basically copies anything the US does anyway. Wait, luckily, I was going to say if you have the option, but then you don't take it, that's totally fine. It's if it replaced you having the option and something you wanted to buy now is only in pumpkin spice. Because, yeah, I think I don't dislike it, but I certainly don't crave it. Need the game to tell you to unlock a new instance at some point. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do this. It could be a tip. Yeah. Man, okay, we got to go find out where our tasks are that get us ready for checkpoint 4. And is there anything here about like teach the player how to play the game? Content, maybe? Item names. I'll just write it here, I guess. Game should teach you about unlocking another instance. This is really important since you can't get very far without doing this. It's just the craze I find somewhat alienating. I see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised that many people like it as they do. Matcha mistakes. Currently doing salted caramel everything here. Yeah, I feel like salted caramel is probably more common than caramel at this point. Your VS Code settings, Jason, and keybind somewhere publicly. I don't. At most, what I've done is I've made some of the extensions I've kind of talked about in a video. I don't even necessarily mind sharing it, but I don't think the keybinds would probably help for a lot of people. Because for one, I use a very custom keyboard, right? Most people, it's going to look very different from this. And two, for settings, yeah, I'm just not sure what people would even really be interested in. And I'm happy to share some of the stuff if you're curious. Oh, just watch that. Looking for some action IDs for my binds. Is there a way to export this easily? There probably is. Export profile. Hang on a second. I should probably look at this before I. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. It'd be hard to say like what are the top most used keyboard shortcuts I have. It'd actually be kind of cool if VS Code told you that. But I think some of the basic text editing stuff. So like, let's say I just copy this over here. A lot of things I do are things like move line up or down, delete line, duplicate a line, navigate between files / tabs. Yeah, so moving lines up and down is like this sort of thing you see me doing. Duplicating is pretty obvious, deleting is pretty obvious. And then, yeah, navigation and tabs and stuff. I'm trying to think if there's any other major thing. Oh, and navigate between functions. Keyboard. Okay, yeah, I'll put this online. I don't mind. I don't think there's anything private there. GitHub new gist. Oops. All right, what should I call this? Key bindings.json. Does it keep track of the date you uploaded this? It says now, yeah. And you set Godot 3 and Godot 4 in their settings. Yeah, I still don't think this is going to be super helpful. At least not on its own. What is this? Oh, I do use this. I was like, I don't recognize that, but I do. Yeah. I guess not many of them follow my whole custom keyboard thing because I end up using the shortcuts that I would have used on a QWERTY keyboard. All right, so we're going to delete this thing from here. Show a skull next to a boss instance. I don't think this is going to be easy because we can't render emojis. So we'd have to render an icon, and the icon's going to have the wrong texture filter. Or we make a special tab or something. I don't know. Let's see. I want there to be a skull next to this. Yeah, the only thing I can think to do is make it a, well, two things. Make it a rich text label and put in a fuzzy looking skull, or make it an HBox container and then probably break a bunch of stuff in the process. I don't think it's going to be easy. But I think it's pretty important that we do something about this. Go the HBox way. Aren't standard emojis fine? No, I don't think they render at all. But we could just try it really fast. If I just add in a label and say hi skull. Yeah, it doesn't render. There's something you have to do to get that to work. There's some Unicode ones that aren't emojis. I don't know what I can even the arrows, I don't think rendered in some cases, because I tried that for idle ascendants. But yeah, the skull and the star aren't rendering. But yeah, we could just go the HBox route. Problem is any change I make is going to probably change the instance list because of how we get the size of rows. And if the skull changes the size of the row, we're going to have a problem. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it right now, at least. Yeah. You were thinking of that? That might work. And I guess that would be a pretty easy way. Yeah. If I search for this, what do you get? There's no results for star. Find that very unlikely. Can we find miscellaneous symbols? Is there a skull? There's a skull and crossbones. What if we paste that in there? We can do that for now. Yeah. Works on your machine. Whoa. Wonder how. Huh. And I wonder if this is going to break anywhere. Yeah, well, let's do this for now, I guess. Put the skull and crossbones. This is literally a star.com, not according to Bing. All right, so how do we fill in the text of this thing? Text equals display name. Yeah, here. So we'll put string display name equals Let's do that. Display name. And then I guess if instance is boss is elite, then display name equals this plus display name. Actually, we should probably just do it this way. All right, let's try that out. Command P with a percent in front. Yeah. Quick text search. That's really good. I like that a lot. Don't forget when you're using that feature. Let's say you're searching for something like add location tooltip. Now, let's say you're searching for something like tooltip and there are too many results. You can press tab, enter, and then open them up over here. And even from here, you could click open in editor and then you can see them visually. And that way, when you're done looking at some of these, you could be like, you know what? I don't care about this file. Just delete all those. And now I'm done looking through these. So delete all these. And then you can still just double click something and go to it. So those couple of little tips are pretty nice. So it accommodates pretty much every scenario. The only problem I kind of have is that sometimes you search for something and you don't realize at the time that you want to do that same search. And then when you try opening the dialog again, there's no pressing up or down here to get to your previous searches. Hey, Pressel. This is what the skull looks like for you. The one that I'm using or the skull emoji? Because this looks really bad. I hope the one I'm using looks a little better. But let's see how it looks in the actual list. The emoji, okay. Yeah, it looks kind of bad over here too. Just because the font size is so small. Hmm. Hmm. We could change the color. Oh, it looks a bit better, but not quite what I think we'd like. Yeah. Just make it red. Just, is it going to be clear? Maybe we need a tooltip like we have for these. And a tooltip could say this is a boss instance. Is there an open source emoji set you can use? There probably is, but it's getting the font to render them. And if it's not the font, then it's just going to be a larger change. Like the nice thing about this is a one character change pretty much. Well, I guess there's kind of an if statement, but yeah. And yes, a Pressel, you should. It has to be simpler, like one of these dots. I guess it needs to stand out somehow. It could even just be in bold, maybe. Although bold might change the height of the font. And either way, I don't think this is a rich text label. I think it's just a label. Can you use an SVG? I'm not sure. You can use an image, but the problem is that the image gets a different filter from the font's filter, so then it looks bad. I'll show you an example of what I mean. If we grant items and then put a green potion over here, this is an example of what I mean. The text is crisp, and then you get to the potion graphic and it's blurry. And I can really zoom in on this to show you. Like you can see the problem here. Oh my God, why is panning so hard? Oh, right, it's because I'm zoomed in twice. Yeah. SVGs might look good, but they might also just be using the wrong filter still. I'm not sure. A big bullet point after the name of the instance in a different color. Well, I guess let's try that out. A diamond might look good. Just paste in a diamond and see what happens. I guess they're called elites and not bosses. And a diamond could kind of mean that something's elite, right? Yeah. And yeah, maybe we put it afterwards so it doesn't indent the list. Display name plus equal this. I do think we need a tooltip if we're going to do that, though. That way when you hover over this, you can tell. So let's go add tooltips in. Should be easy enough to do. Or maybe do we want to put it on location? To unlock new locations, click the portal in town. To unlock new locations, click the portal in town. And then we can say the diamond symbol indicates an elite location. Yeah, then we can add a tooltip to what's it currently say? The recommended level. The recommended level. Yeah, here it is. All right, so we'll just say add elite tooltip. The locations are more difficult than normal locations. Yeah, perfect. All right, we want to put that on this. What in the world? Get child count -3. Where's the label itself? Add child new label. Here it is. I guess we need to do this twice. What is this? The location name label? New. Do the same thing over here. Can you do this before you've added it? Level label. You actually can. Oh, well then. I'm not going to worry about this. Whatever. Just delete this. And then make this be on this thing. Let's try that. What, Caleb? What is this? I can't even see it. Thin white space. Oh, that's not going to work. Thin white space. I want skull space. Symbol indicates an elite location. Elite locations are more difficult than normal locations. Yeah, I like that. I think it's good enough. Skeleseller. There. I don't know if we need the location, the symbol here too. Yeah, I don't like that. Indicates an elite location. Just delete that one. Yeah, I think we'll just stick with the other one. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. Thank you for the suggestions in chat. This is looking good. Cool. So add diamond symbol to elite locations. There's also a tooltip to explain what that symbol means. This game's going to be impossible to play on a controller. Setup peripherals. I think you might be looking for that. Yeah. All right, where'd the task go? Here it is. Show the current level of the boss in start instance. Yeah, I don't see why we can't do that. Should be easy enough. Try to make it controller friendly from the start, which means no tooltips, which means UI is a disaster. Yeah. Yeah. For what it's worth, I think you'll be happy you did all this when you release your game. but it certainly makes the making of the game much harder. All right, what was I doing here? Show current level. Right. So this says recommended level. I think this is fine. And I think just as you beat a boss, the recommended level of the boss instance can go up. Yeah. Virtual mouse. I think anything with a virtual mouse, though, it's like it should snap to the controls you want to go to. Otherwise, it's just kind of tedious. Like imagine playing StarCraft on N64. Oh man. I feel I approached it wrong and a little too deep to refactor without feeling terrible. I think I should have made a mouse and keyboard and the controller support moves the mouse to the right locations. Yeah. Well, sorry to hear that, Sorrow. I guess it's a live and learn scenario. Fully idle on touch devices. Like you don't even need to know what the tooltips do because the game just beats itself. That would actually be kind of funny. The game starts up and it's like new game. How actively do you want to play? And it's like semi-actively, mostly idly, and then a all caps completely idly. And we just have a bunch of instructions for how the game should eventually beat itself. I'm not seriously considering doing this, but if I had done that, I kind of wonder who would ever choose that, and would they find it interesting? It'd pretty much be like watching a video at that point. Well, I guess you could take over at any time. Okay, so yeah, I think we can show the level of this thing. All instance data level. Yeah, level showing. I guess we would call that recommended level instead. Maybe we should rename this. Recommended level. Yeah. Did that break anything? Control the brightness with your keyboard. Oh, I see. For the Apple Studio display. You won't choose that option to be bathed in the story. There is that option. It's contact unknown. What is going on here? Single line comment should be preceded by a blank line. Okay. That's not actually why I tried building that, but it's good that it works. All right. So in the instance list, we are going to need to say that the level increases as you beat this. The level and the level increases as you each time you complete them. Their levels increase each time you complete them. Yeah. All right. So where's the level? Recommended level at toString. It can't be that anymore. Int level equals the recommended level. But if it's elite, then we need to add in, does have a reference to start instance? No. Really? Really? Is there an init here? Just takes in a tooltip. The lore is whatever I feel like at the time. For a cultural phenomenon, it would actually be kind of interesting to hear how people differ and how that spreads. Although I think it had to be super popular for anyone to care enough. I went to BlizzCon once and there was a lore panel for World of Warcraft and I wasn't in it. There was a pretty small audience for it. But that's the kind of thing where World of Warcraft already had tons of players, and yet the amount of people who actually really truly cared about the lore to be at that panel was just not very many. Can be strike through in the new level next to it. I guess I would indicate that it's changing, but it would also increase the width of that column. I think for now, just increasing it would be okay. The other thing is that you're going to see a list of like location 1 level, it'll say 1, location 2 level say 1, and then location 3 you'll have won it a few times, it'll say 5. So I think it'll be clear that it's increasing as you beat it. The width is already set by the header, right? Yes, actually you're correct. Yeah, so I guess it would be able to fit. Yeah, maybe we go that route. I'll write that down. All right, but I'm still running into a problem here, which is that start instance is what keeps track of how many elites you've beaten. Highest elite levels defeated. What if we just didn't store this here? What would that mean? I guess instance list stores everything else, right? It doesn't really make a difference either way, I think. No, it kind of does. Because nothing in here changes with this, does it? No. Yeah, no. Do we want to make this public, though? You know, modify this. We have an unlock, don't we? Yes. Hmm. Let me look at one more thing and then make a decision here. Which is, where did I even try doing this thing? The level, yeah, here. Yeah, so this could keep track of how many elite things you had. Okay, yeah. I think we need to do change me. All right, I do think I want to move this. And then anytime it gets updated, we need to update the UI. All right, let's do that. Make sure the UI gets updated as soon as you beat a boss. More side quests? I think so too. The nice thing about a lot of what we're doing now is I hope we're getting to the end of the sort of new systems we need. Every game is a combination of systems and data. And once you have all the systems, then you get into your content phase. And maybe you do this interleaved. You don't need to do it completely, all the systems at first. But I'm trying to think, what else do we even need? There are little things like rare items and then customers operating correctly and autosave. But yeah, then I think it's just like a few months of polish and content and balance testing. Just, you know, a couple of easy tasks. All right, let's move this. Yeah, I'm convinced. This is going to break everything. Everything. All right, num unique elites defeated. This would be on instance list. Do we proxy over to anything in instance list already? I'd be kind of surprised if we didn't. We sort of do. Yeah, we sort of do. Yeah, I feel like there should be an instance list. How fun. There's no count because what, I'm not using link. Yeah. About 3 weeks from now and it should be done. Yeah, probably 3 weeks. Maybe 1.5 weeks tops. Maybe 10 hours. I think we can get it done in the next minute. If we have 1 minute of crunch time every day, I think it could get done in 5 days. All right, so every time we reference this, now it needs to be modified because this is actually technically an instance list. We could just make a sort of proxy variable there. Instance list. I guess if we're going to save this off, let's just save off how many you've beaten. Num unique elites defeated equals that. Then we can replace this with, this is highest elite levels defeated. Maybe we should just get the instance list. I mean, this is a very minor change just to make this less verbose. And we don't have this anywhere else, do we? Nope. Aerothala. Thankfully, there isn't any major time crunch, but I do feel like there's enough work to be done to last another several months. And I always kind of wonder whether we need to take even more time than what I'd planned. There's a game that I was talking about on Discord called Hyper Light Drifter, I think. And I had fall 2023 written next to it on a list of games that I was interested in playing. And I went and checked out their website. Is it called Hyper Light Drifter? I think so. Yeah, I went and checked out their website. Where is their website? I have no idea. Is it muted? No, maybe it's, is this what it's called? Maybe it's the second one? Oh, Hyperlight Breaker. Yeah, there it is. Anyway, I went and checked out their website and look at this. Early access coming early 2025. So that was quite a surprise to me because I thought, oh, I've waited a year because it was supposed to come out in fall of 2023 apparently. Or maybe that's when I added it to the list. I don't know. Maybe they didn't bump their release date. I have no idea anymore. Anyway, the whole point of me bringing that up was that I think a lot of games struggle with the, hey, how much bake time do we need versus can we even support development for that long? And I think it's sad to see any game not get finished because it wasn't monetarily viable enough. And now that early access is as common as it is on Steam, you see a lot of games go this route where they launch an early access, maybe they don't do very well, and then they just die. And it's sad. It's like there's a lot of creativity from probably a lot of people out there that just didn't do well enough, and it can't be developed anymore. I didn't even realize this was a sequel. Hyper Light Breaker. I don't think I've played Hyper Light Drifter, and I don't know if they're the same sort of game. But Hyper Light Breaker looks kind of like Risk of Rain 2 to me, and Risk of Rain 2 was super fun. Oh, wow, that's cool. Dark Storm. I didn't even know there was something like a power saving mode. Only 5 sessions a week, each session consisting of 8 phases with 60 portions. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Very different from a work day. Don't get them confused. All right, let's keep working through the different bugs that we have here. So this can now be num unique elites defeated, except for that's not how this works at all. I didn't even need this here, did I? Highest level elites defeated dot default. So the instance ID 0. I think that should do it. But like I said, still errors here. Where are the errors? Here it is. This now needs to be inside load from save data. Any other problems? This start instance. Unlock instance. We could technically just modify this here. I think this is a mistake. But nothing stops us from making mistakes. Okay. And then the only question I have is, does the UI auto update, which I doubt it. I don't think there's any event for that. But let's try this out. What should happen is we should see the level go up. Why is this broken? Start instance dot instance list. Yeah, we should see the level go up in the instance list. I'm not actually sure that's going to happen though, because I don't think anything forces an update here. It's a good game. Definitely clearly 2D feel. Yeah. Planning on only requiring one extra level to beat them. I'm not totally sure what you mean by the question. Also should have a max level. I don't think it should have a max level as long as bosses scale infinitely. There's going to be a max effective level because your max level is going to be 7. So the bosses can maybe get to, I don't know, 10 or so. And then they're just impossible. But yeah, I don't understand this first part. Okay, so grant most things. We see the level of the canyon is 2. I'm going to go fight there, and we're going to win. And now it should have gone up to 3, but I don't think anything changes this list, and I think that's the problem here. So instance list needs to know that you've just beaten this. And at some point, it might get something from town in here. It doesn't, does it? Nope. It doesn't. All right, well, beat instance for first time. I guess we need to know when you beat any elite instance, whether or not it's the first time. And we have something for that. It's called ended battle. Well, I guess we're finally adding this back in. Oh man, I have a lot to do tonight. Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm not streaming for too long. I do want to get this stuff done though. Kenny has a recommended level of 2 after you beat it once. Now the recommended is 3. Is that how we want it to work? It'll make us balance them so that it is true. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna end up feeling like, because maybe we can't come up with something that lets us scale this exactly with like 1 level difference. And then if the recommended level is something to just sort of be ignored, then there's going to be a problem. Why is this? Oh, it's 1, not win. All right. So for 1, we have a syntax error somewhere. I don't even know where. Probably a missing semicolon. What? Battle ended. I don't even have battle ended anywhere. Ended battle. That's what it's called. No. What's going on? Oh, no. Weird. I thought I had just saved it already, and it just hadn't auto-formatted. I don't know what happened there. We're trying a boss battle. Cost the max gold amount prior to beating the boss. I don't want you to have to grind just to fight, because I think this is going to be part of the fun of the game, is experimenting with these boss battles. It's what people gave feedback on in the last checkpoint was there's only really one sort of challenge in the game, and that's beating whatever that thing is called, Volcano 3 or something like that. And people had fun experimenting and figuring out different party compositions. I want the bosses to be that, but just more often. And as a result, I kind of expect that you're going to lose like a decent number of times, maybe 3 or 4. And then maybe you figure out, okay, I beat it. And you move on. Equal or higher than the actual requirement, it should be okay. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe what we do is we just change it to a question mark. No, that wouldn't be good. I don't know. But I do like the idea of the strike through thing being there to at least indicate that it's rising. All right, so what are we doing with this? We need to know that you just beat an instance for the first time. And I'm not totally sure about the order of these events. Maybe let's just do this. If all instance data dot get, if it's elite, then just update the UI. That's all. In fact, that's how it should be anyway. So how do we do this? What causes the UI to get updated? Well, I guess anytime we added a location, it happened. Set up instance grid. Do we call this from anywhere? Unlock instance. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So can we just make this public? We can. Okay. Probably a better way of doing that. But instance list dot set up instance grid. This is to update the level of the elite instance. Merge it with the previous one. Yep, sure. If there's a level cap, what can you improve in order to beat a boss? Try a different party combo, try leveling up, try allocating skill points differently, enchanting. Also, how could I forget? Yeah, you pretty much listed it all. And the problem is if people are still struggling even after trying a different party and after enchanting differently, then I don't really have an answer for how to make it any easier. Other games do a host of different strategies. One of them is just, it's a skill-based game, and the answer is to get good. But actually, I guess 1B is they make it easier if you do too many attempts. And the example for that was Mario games may give you a star if you died X times. Option number 2 is some like allow for grinding for more power. And option number 3 is some kind of like difficulty slider that you can just temporarily change. I think the best one for this game is probably this. Like you're on normal difficulty, and if you go down to easy, then the bosses are pretty much beatable with almost any party. But I'm not sure. You can one-shot the final boss. You can only find if you find all the clues in the dialogue in the lower and you contact unknown. So I shouldn't say grinding for more power, allow for getting more power. The other option I'd thought of is something like, what if there was a crafting or a buying system and you could buy an item with a powerful enchant? I'm just, the reason I'm not sold on this is that this really only needs to exist as an escape hatch. And an escape hatch that players don't realize is an escape hatch is going to feel like the game is just tuned too easily. Tuned to be too easy, I guess I should say. So imagine, I don't know what a good example here is. Like, I don't know, imagine a Zelda game. You have your sword and let's say it does 5 damage to enemies. There's always some number internally, even if you don't see it. And let's say there was just a more powerful sword, like sword level 2 that did 10 damage. And it was easy to get and easy to use. There was no real cost to it or anything. You'd be like, oh, I'm just supposed to have gotten sword level 2. And of course I do double damage to enemies. And it's not clear that like, well, this was only put in the game to make it easier for players. So yeah, that's why I don't want to frame it that way. How about hiring privateers? You mean like tip the battle in your favor by getting more party members? Sounds like you want to go the route where you have to make sure the bosses are generally achievable based on level of players. Yeah, exactly. Provided that the elite battles are achievable enough. People do like the challenges. Yeah, that's what we're going to start with. What I don't want it to be is something where it's like you have 12 possible adventurers and there's a specific combo of 4 of them, for example. And it's like, if you didn't think of that combo, then you would never win. I think that's a problem. But I don't think it's going to really even be possible to come up with a situation where that's the case. I just can't imagine a world that we've balanced it unless we have a thing like if adventurer class is equal to the archer, then like damage equals 0. So now you just can't do damage. That would that'd be really easy to detect, and then players would just be able to adjust to it. But short of doing that, yeah, I don't think there's any world where we could make a battle that you have to have like 4 tanks just to win it. Sounds like a lot of manual balancing. Well, it might be. The gimmicks of these bosses, I think, are going to lend themselves well to picking certain characters. So, for example, imagine a boss gimmick. This is sort of the classic one of like the boss can only take 1 damage per hit. And maybe most enemies are taking like 20 to 30 when this is happening, when this happens. So now you have to think about the fight very differently. You have to think about it in terms of like who can attack quickly or many times at once. And you're like, oh, the rogue has a fast attack, and the mage has lightning zaps. And the witch doctor has summons, and there's a damage over time on different things. I like this idea a lot because this now gets you thinking about like, oh yeah, well, how do my classes work and how can I update them? And you start looking at the rogue, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, increase the number of bolts. Okay, cool. I'm going to do an extra 5 damage now. Whereas some other ability might not add any damage. And things like this strikes again for half the damage. Okay, cool. We're getting these 2 abilities, and it's kind of lending itself well to a build that will let you win. People will be like, wow, the AI in this game is great. That's not AI, that's just I. Ad campaigns. You eventually get more customers. I do want there to be a way to get more customers. I don't know if it should be something that you just get or you pay for. So I haven't figured that out yet. Anyway, what were we doing here? We were updating the level of this thing. So let's go try that. So Canyon is currently level 2. We go into a battle and we click win. And nice, it updated immediately to level 3. Cool. So if we win it again, it should go up to level 4, right? It did not. Why didn't it? Oh, because of this. Beat elite instance for first time is what sets this. Okay, we need to change that. Problem solved. Well, I'm glad I noticed that bug. Although I guess we would have noticed eventually anyway. I wonder how hard it would be to strike through text. We're probably going to need to make it a rich text label, and then it'll be easy. All right, so Canyon level 2. We win the fight. It goes to level 3. We repeat the battle, win the fight. Goes to level 4. We repeat the battle, win the fight. Goes to level 5. Yeah, so this will just keep updating itself. I think if we were to save the game and load it, this will probably not be 5 anymore, even though it should be. No, it's not. But if I beat it, then it should go up to 6. Yes, it did. Okay. Yeah, we got to load that correctly. Save and load mega issue. Where is it here? Set the level label of elite instances properly based on how many times you've won. Okay, so this is done. This is done. And then, yeah, make the text strike through. So we need it to be a rich text label instead of just a label. So we go to instance list. Yeah, we have a bunch of labels right now. And if we just change this to be a rich text label, is it gonna break? No. And how do you strike through text? I don't know. Strike through. S or strike? S. I think we also need to make it gray. Color equals dark gray. Yeah, I think that looks better. What if you implement a turn-based battle system like in BG3 with initiatives and choices that the player can make? Set auto battle on, have the players make simple generic decisions. Adding manual control I don't think is a good idea. I think that's one of the things we actually learned from Idle Ascendants is people are like, if you're just going to remove the manual control from me anyway, eventually, why even have it in the first place? And the battle is not interesting with manual controls. I don't know if this is a serious suggestion, but this is like a very strong, I don't want to do this kind of thing. And we made a battle system that intentionally was suited for this sort of thing. So in this game, yeah, you had the choice and you used your abilities, and maybe there were some minor choices you were making differently, but you can see there's an opportunity cost of, if I pick ability A, I'm not using ability B. In Skeleseller, all of your abilities are used as soon as the cooldowns are ready. So there isn't even a choice to be made if you could manually control your characters. Maybe the choice would be which character do you want to target. But for boss battles, unless there are multiple characters, even that wouldn't really be a choice. Well, maybe for healing it would be, but yeah, I think it's not the kind of thing I would want to do. Okay, so we want to do this. We need to make sure the instance list is making the labels with rich text labels. This is a rich text label considered to be a label? Rich text label. Inherits control? Oh, man. It's too bad. Because that means that this casting won't work. Although this is the only place I do this, and it's always for the row, which is always the first one. So I guess we don't need to worry about that too much. Anyway, level label is going to be a rich text label. And the text is not just going to be the level. We need to know if this is different. So I guess let's do string level text. Level text equals the original level, instance data dot recommended level, and then to the side of it, the actual level. Then down here, we set the level text equal to level.toString. Yeah, let's try that out. Oh wait, we gotta enable BB code. I might not have done that in time. So we probably shouldn't trust that it worked at all. Well, let's try it. I guess it doesn't really make a huge difference, right? Grant most things, flee the battle, close this because I shouldn't have done that at all. And it's broken. Yeah, and it should only do this if the levels are different. If level is greater than the level, the recommended one, then set this. Disable word wrap. Yeah, good idea. What is it called? Auto wrap. Equals off. Okay, let's try it out. I think wrapping should only matter when you have 2-digit numbers, which hopefully you never get to. But even then, I guess you'd only have one 2-digit number, not two. So at most, there'd be 3 digits. Let's try it. So good. This shows 2. We're going to go win that instance. And actually, as soon as we win, it should get updated. Yeah, nice. Now 2 is crossed off and it says 3. Is that dark gray? It is. Yeah, and if you win again, it goes to 4. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like it. Done with that. All right, so we moved this here for kind of no reason. Because this is only ever accessed from outside this class. Okay, yeah, then I think I know what I want to do. If that's how it's going to go, then let's put this back where it was, which I hope was here, and just get this from instance list. And that way, everywhere that we use this, can stop. No, what am I doing? What am I doing? Everything that uses this can stop accessing it through instance list. So this should be start instance. At which point, I guess even this isn't really needed. Yep. And that's it. Was that gray plus normal level number indicate original versus current? Yeah. Can you check what happens on 2 digits? Yeah, I can. We'll just hit load game and then just win the battle a couple more times. Should go up to 6 when I do this. Yeah. Now repeat 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it still looks fine. What does that gray represent? So it says this. It says elite locations are more difficult than normal locations, and their levels increase each time you complete them. Maybe when you're hovering over this, it should say something about elite locations level up as you beat them. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. We need to detect that it even should be leveled up, I guess. Yeah, so it can't be static. It's got to take in the instance ID now. All right, so int level equals this. If level is greater than 0, so this is what I want the text to be set to. And if level is greater than 0, then text plus equal elite locations level up as you each time you defeat them. There. What if it's like 10, 12? We should never have a 10 because you can't get to level 10 right now. Oh yeah, level tooltip needs to take in the instance ID. Populate instance list. What? Oh, all right. Instance ID dot none, I guess. Require higher levels instead of level up. Yeah, let me look at that in just a sec. Instance data, instance ID. Okay, that should look good. Increase in level each time you defeat them. Maybe difficulty. Hey, Grace. It's going well. Getting sort of toward the end of the stream, but we've finished up, I think, pretty much everything to do with bosses at this point. If I could actually click the right buttons there. There we go. So now we have a little diamond symbol in the UI, and that indicates that it's an elite location. And when you beat it, so if I go to the canyon, let's speed this up, and then win it. When I beat it, now the level actually rose, and it says right here, elite locations increase in difficulty each time you defeat them. Bosses demo? Oh yeah, sure. So let me show you. Although it's not too much different from a regular fight. So once this joins the battle, yeah. So it's just a large monster instead of a regular size monster and a large life bar. Actually, my character is max level, isn't it? It is. I wonder if it could win in this battle. Let's see. I'm kind of curious. They're really relying on using stealth and then dodging. So they got it down to half-life. I bet they probably could win. Well, actually, obviously they can win because there's a chance that they can dodge. So if they got lucky with the chance every single time. But I think realistically, so they got it down to 50% life both times. Still 50%. It should be able to get past 50% pretty easily. It's not dodging at all for some reason. Ah, there it goes. It dodged a couple times and now it's at lower than 50%. It's only able to take like 4 hits. And there's no way to increase the dodge rate any further than that. It's like 25%, I think. Oh, almost killed it that time. Just needed one more dodge and it would have worked. So yeah, it can definitely win. It just pretty much never will. But we can actually have 2 characters in this battle. So if we just throw the mage in, then we're guaranteed to win pretty much. Yeah, there, we won. I should increase the on-hit effect size of its boss. We could do that. I was debating on it because technically your slash graphic is not, like, your sword is the same size. Yeah, I really, really like the boss sprite. And I think it's nice that we've got that. I also just like the regular enemy sprites too. I think they're great. They're like worm.png. I think that wraps it up, right? The game should tell you the boss to get stronger. Maybe we could show a level next to the skull, show more skulls, show a different color, blah, blah, blah. Have it, yeah. All right, polish. So that's it. And rare loot would be what's next. The worm is back. Let's get ready to check this in. So wait a sec. Why is this here? No, that needs to be there. I moved something from start instance, and hopefully that doesn't look like it's actually moved. Does saving and loading work still? Save and load. Yes. It doesn't properly restore everything, but that's fine. We'll fix that later. Oh, also what happens there. Yep, looks good. This is good. Good. This is just text. I think this is all fine. I read through it already. This is just a linting error. Let's check that in. Fixed linting error. Recommended level. We renamed. That's all. Instance. What is this? There was already a print here? What is this doing? Oh, yeah, for the loot stuff. Yeah. I mean, so far, everything looks fine. Yeah. That moved from down there. Yeah, that. I want this down here again. Good. Looks good. Looks good. Wait a second. Something might be wrong. Wait. Ended battle. This gets invoked after this. So we're not actually going to show the remaining signs properly. The instance for the first time. No, maybe we will. What are we doing here? I think we just need to restart this and make sure that this code is working. Remember, there's an extra instance to add. It has a cute snowman. Yeah, but I don't think we have another boss monster, do we? Oh, I guess we could just add a regular monster until we get one. Boss you can defeat and it just hangs its gloves and comes to your town as a customer. Oh man, that would be pretty cool. You see the ogre walking around your town carrying like 6 items. All right, so there are no signs showing. No amount of money shows the signs. You need to actually win that fight. So we augment the portal twice. And then we need to go beat the elite enemy. So we do. And then the signs show up. Yeah, and now you can build the enchanter's den. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh my god, did I never change a money limit? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, this is what's broken now. Level is never set to. No, that's not possible. Ah, that's what's wrong. Because battle ended needs to be called before we call this. Yeah, that's why that's broken. I'm really glad I tested that. This is what's responsible for setting that you've beaten an instance. However, this is also what's responsible for setting that wait, how are we gonna do this then? This is maybe a bad idea. Not unique, at least defeated. Hey Mehmet. This won't work. This should just say +1 basically. This is going to be confusing though. Yeah. Gonna write any automated tests? Probably eventually, yes. I think that tests right now would get in the way because we're trying to move fast and some systems get changed such that any test we would have written would have been waste of time, basically. But once we have the game accessible to people, I want to make sure we don't like break save files and break a bunch of other stuff. Also, I think the other nice thing is that bugs are the best guide of where you need tests. So if you have a bug where it's like, oh, I lost my save data or something, it's like, oh, well, that's a bug. Let's go write a test for it. Make sure it doesn't happen again. If you get another bug saying, hey, the mage just stopped shooting fireballs at some time, it's like, okay, fix it, write a test. All right, so what is this indicating to me? We need to put a +1 here because otherwise this thing won't know what we had. I guess the battle could know this. Yeah. We have to add 1 since wouldn't have been updated yet. Or I guess won't have been updated yet. Let's try that. So that'll increase our max money properly. Okay. So our max money is 150. We go to Z Canyon and win. And now the max money is 1,000, which lets us actually build this thing, which would then let us disenchant potions. Yeah. Oh man, Caleb. I'm sorry to hear that. You'll get it back though, don't worry. It'll happen. Okay, so we rendered that instances leveled up. And is that pretty much it? Yeah. Render that instances level up. There are a couple of changed tooltips as well. Are there actually a couple? Maybe only one? Where are the tooltips? Here they are. Yeah, there are a couple changed ones. Levels increase each time you complete them. Elite locations increase in, I'm just gonna say in level. Yeah, I think that's clear enough. Yeah. All right, so I wrote work on rare loot next. I don't know for sure we want to do that. Work on rare loot next. Make the bosses drop it. Scale, still needs to be done too. All right. So now merge my branch. does homework for most of the day listening to lo-fi medieval music, but it's my lo-fi medieval music, and that's what's important. I want to scale the boss health, but I think this happens from a different part of the game. It happens from Battler, I'm pretty sure. Health component. No, it doesn't happen from here. What? Wait, wait. Where's the life? Oh, here it is. Oh man. Okay, never mind. This is really simple to do then. Thank goodness. We just do this times stat multiplier. And now the boss is impossible. Oh man. Yeah, that's it. Let's test it out. Yeah, I thought this was going to be a hard change to, well, not hard, I guess, but more annoying. Turned out to not be annoying at all. All right, all we're doing to test this out is seeing how much damage we do 5 at a time, and it's taking off like roughly that much. Yeah, this is very non-scientific. Now we're going to repeat the battle. Actually, just toggle invincibility, I guess. We're still going to do 5 damage, but we're going to look like we're taking off less life now. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Scale boss health properly. It wasn't being affected by stat multiplier. And that's it. All right, let's go merge this. Publish. Origin. Now we go make a PR. What does this close? 288. Closes 288. All right, create pull request. Out of curiosity, if I were reviewing this PR, what would this look like? I don't plan on looking through everything right now. I just want to see if anything pops out as being wonky. Oh, I changed the town environment. Why did I do that? I think I gave the portal some breathing room. Is that what I did? I probably did that. Yeah, because otherwise you couldn't click it. That's right. Yeah. It's all coming back to me. Mark that this was done in the design document. Are they just harder versions of the other instances later? If no, you don't need the stat multiplier. Well, that is one way we could do this. In fact, I hadn't actually thought about that. We could have like an ogre level 2. In fact, that'd be pretty smart. Good idea, Dark. Where did we write that down though? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't even write it down. I might not have. I wrote something about file a task to do something, but I just threw it somewhere in this list, not at the top, just in a random spot. Oh man. Here it is. File task to scale them correctly. Okay, consider doing this by just manifesting different boss enemies altogether. E.g., there can be ogre level 2, and the canyon can know to use that. However, just like with costs of stuff, we need to max out at a particular level. So perhaps this isn't a good idea because we want this to scale infinitely. Although it could just be stat bumps at that point. Yeah. All right, I really want to wrap this stuff up. Oh yeah, I was looking through my PR. Yeah, let's keep looking through it fast. I mean, there's a lot of code that changed for this, and I reviewed every individual commit. So like I said, this is not me looking through super closely. It's all reasonable from the stuff I've seen so far, though. What's that code? Maximum achievable rank, yeah. Wow. Yeah, wow. Okay, pretty good. Automatically scaled from one enemy. I don't know what we're going to do yet. Because it's not just going to be scaling exactly. I also might want to add abilities. Like maybe at level 5, the ogre gains a stun ability. And it totally changes how you fight. I don't know. Yeah. Well, okay. Let's just leave it for now. But yeah, in the future, I want them to change as you level up. But I'm still not totally sure how I want to do it. I want them to potentially get abilities, potentially scale stats. Maybe we even do something like with phases, although I probably won't do that. All right, merge this before anyone can review it and tell me I've got problems. And we're done, and this is closed. All right, so merge my branch, close the task. That's all done. This, I think, should be finished. It's not. We haven't added the frost plains. Note, was it PR? 366. 366 added the canyon. So it's just the frost plains that we need to add. You have to wait not only for your adventures, but also the ogre as well. You mean after the 10th time, not the first time. The other instance is just a regular room. What do you mean? Regular room? Let me go find out what you mean. Frost plains. Oh, not for a boss. Oh, I see. I mean, it could be for a boss, right? Although I guess maybe we want to consider in the future that boss instances could be set up so that they look like they're a boss instance. Like imagine if the ogre stood on like a raised platform, like there was like a mountain here or a hill or something like that, and they stood on top of this thing. We certainly could do that. Although I guess the ogre already has a special space and that there's other stuff littering the squares that would be filled. But anyway, I'm not super concerned about that yet either. That can be something that once we've got the bosses in the game, we can see how it feels. Actually, I just thought of an idea which would only work for a game like this, kind of where you have limited spaces in the battle. But what if enemies summoned things on your side just to take up space? Actually, that would be kind of interesting, maybe as a boss idea. I never even thought about that. I'll write it down, but I don't think it's good because all it's pretty much doing is saying, hey, you can't use summoners for this battle. A boss could summon entities on your side of the arena so that your summoners can't actually do anything. Maybe they heal the boss. Or maybe they just take up space. I don't know. Casually walking around town. So I reduced it to 1 battle victory. It would probably actually take quite a change to get a boss walking around town. And I'm not even talking about the art change. We would just need to accommodate larger actors in our navigation system. A boss could summon a wall of enemies in front of itself. Do I have that written down here? Boss with untargetable minions. Yeah, a boss who is untargetable while they have summons. Yeah. All right, so that one's done. What's this one? Create special raid boss instance. Maybe at a very late stage of the game, an instance where you can use 9 adventurers, but the boss is super powerful, which would do stuff like apply a random buff. Interesting. I'll put this over here. A raid boss, which is just a boss that you can have lots of adventurers fight against. See Dark's idea here. Hey, Lord of the Dreams. Question. Would you say it's okay to take a minigame idea from another game that's really old, since so many games copy the Battle Royale mode? I think it depends on what you're taking, whether you've adapted it at all. There are games that are just based on other games completely. But I think if they change enough things that it's okay. That's assuming you're not violating a patent or anything. Tell more customers when you're down in a battle. Oh man, attempting that one would be really annoying. Yeah, be doing it from scratch. I don't think it's the doing it from scratch part that matters. I think it's the how different does it look at the end that matters. And maybe, I don't know. I guess you could also kind of look at it in terms of, is it likely that whatever company that does own the rights to it would even come after you? Because a lot of games people make will probably never really see the light of day to begin with. Again, not an insult at all, but they won't see the light of day. And then if they do, it's not like they're going to become popular enough to make it onto people's radar. Like Pal World clearly made it on Nintendo's radar. Not wasting money on those. What? Oh, on lawyers. Oh, all right. Only curious. Yeah. The other thing is, how risk averse are you? So, for example, if you wanted to make a fan game about Zelda or Mario, it's almost certainly going to get shut down. If it gets any sort of media hype whatsoever, expect a cease and desist probably the next week. But that's all a question of like, okay, what level of risk do you want? Are you okay with it being shut down and you just distribute it over Discord or something and you don't make any money off of it? So those are other things you should consider too. All right, design document. We got to write this down here. Added boss. I didn't even write bosses. It's literally just boss. Change how level progression works. So how did this used to work? You used to be able to train adventurers up to level 10. Did we make it individual levels before? Level, yes, we did. Okay. Used to be able to train adventurers up to level 10. Now the maximum rank is 7. Now the maximum rank starts at 2, but beating bosses, beating elite monsters, enemies, lets you get it up to 7. Added elite monsters. What do we write for these? This is the main way of putting challenging fights into the game. It's also a way of gating progress. Yeah, level progression. And then any PRs I want to mention in here. Things like add the FPS slider, I don't think are big enough to put in necessarily, but maybe we could put in like UI improvements. Added an FPS slider and VSync option. Is VSync, you have a capital S? Yes. No. You not if it's a software library, apparently. Yeah, capital S. Anything else? Instance icons, button styling, credits menu. I think we mentioned the credits menu somewhere, right? Yeah, added credits there. Items on displays to be built from the bottom. Yeah, displays, item displays in the warehouse now are now created at the bottom of the warehouse so that they're closer to the shops and the portal. The game I'd like to take an idea from is Zapper 1 Wicked Cricket. Never heard of this. Huh. They mentioned Atari on here? Oh, Atari. Wait, what? Where does Atari come in for this? Huh. Skeleton is the first boss in the game because he literally owns the town. He is, yes. That's right. As long as we don't ever, as long as we don't ever use the word boss, I think we're fine. Yeah, just a hobby. Yeah, like I said, it's probably fine. If it doesn't show up on anyone's radar, nothing bad's gonna probably happen anyway. You know, one of these things that I looked into a while ago was how people handle taxes for their startup. Did I write this down somewhere? I thought I made a blog post specifically. Yeah, this one. Oh my God. All right, this stupid blog post. So the reason I'm bringing this up before I forget is that lots of people ignore consumption taxes and remitting them and just get away with it for probably a pretty long time. And if you don't make enough revenue, no one's ever really going to care. That's pretty much the conclusion I came to after the research I did. But yeah, if you're making millions of dollars, people are all of a sudden going to start to care. So I think it's the same thing here. It's like if you release the game to 3 friends and they're like, this is the best game in existence, your friends aren't going to sue you, right? But if the game all of a sudden gets super popular and the creators or owners of this find out, then yeah, it could be a problem. Very last instance forces max party size and you fight against yourself, but the copies get random builds. I wanted to be careful not to make it something that is too unpredictable from a balance perspective. So fighting against yourself with a max party size of 9 party members would mean that you are potentially omitting up to like 3 to 4 party members, which means your battle might be different from mine, and that might be really, really tough to balance. Yeah. Lord of the Dreams. I think you've got your answer. Yeah. Like, it sounds like you are not deterred from any of this stuff. So, yeah, by all means, try it out. Yeah. All right, this is done. This is done. This is done. This is done. Whoopsie. Did not mean to do that. All right. Wow. We got a lot finished. Finished working on bosses other than the actual content itself. So we have the boss system. We just don't have bosses. Oh, also, I should probably switch back to main before I forget. One. Oh, never mind. That was before I did the git pull. Yeah, nice. Wow. Yeah. All right. I'm not totally sure what we're going to work on Friday. I mentioned rare loot, but I don't know if it's the most important thing. And I've got a list of the most important things down here. Maybe we do some sound effect stuff. This is already done. Oh, yeah. I should probably write that down on the list. Items no longer stack on top of each other. Also change how you unlock instances. Also change practically everything I just did inside that thing. Let's go look at that. 366. All right, what do we do? Push items away from portal. It's not really worth detailing, but I think the bit about unlocking instances is worth it. Change how progression works. you now have to pay to unlock locations. Elite, except for elite locations where you just have to defeat the elite enemies. Anything else? Oh yeah, money is limited. Your maximum money is now limited by how many elite enemies, how many unique elite enemies you've defeated. Yeah. Saving and loading, music track. Oh man. All right, I can't look at this for too long or I'm gonna get overwhelmed. I think it's between this and sound effects for Friday. Making customers act like customers is something that's gonna take probably several days. So I don't know if it's worth starting on Friday or if it's worth starting something we can actually finish. But I don't know. Let's just figure it out on Friday. I think I'm gonna get going. I have done 2 streams today with no breaks whatsoever. It's probably not very smart. But now I've got a bunch of stuff I've got to go do. So let me find someone to raid. Okay, just look through my list super fast. I'm going to try to find someone new. This might take a little bit of time. Trying to find someone who hasn't been online for too long, who speaks English and who's in software dev, and who I haven't rated before. So yeah, quite a lot of requirements for this now because I have rated a lot of people in here. Have I rated this person? Oh, they're not speaking English. Drat. I've rated people who don't speak English before, and it is much harder for me to enjoy their stream, which is why I tend to only discriminate against people who don't speak English when it comes to rating. All right, maybe let's raid this person. This is why I don't tend to do this process anymore too, because I never automated this. So I have to just look through the list every time. Wait, did somebody just raid me? Oh no, Sphere 4. I was literally just looking through the list. I was trying to find somebody to raid. Yeah, I'm just ending. Hello, welcome in everybody. I hope you had a good stream and thank you very much for the raid. I was literally about to type in the raid command. I'll just leave people with a couple things if you want to check things out. Although I totally understand. I wanted to stick around. But I'm working on a game called Skeleseller, and if you'd like to find out more, there's some information in the FAQ, and also you can wish list on Steam if you want. But if you come back on Friday, whoever's watching this, I'll be streaming for another probably 6 hours over the course of the day, and we'll actually be doing some development. But yeah, thank you again. I really appreciate it, even if I'm just signing off right now. All right, let's go raid. Oh wait, this person's not. Man, where's the? There they are. Okay. Yeah, bye everybody. Thank you for those who were watching. Thanks for people who just tuned in, and thanks Sphere for the raid just now. I'll see you all on Friday, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Let's say hi to this new streamer and discover what they're doing together. See ya.